a vocabulary for what we're talking about. So here is a list. I love learning, guys, and I love words, especially the etymology of words, which we're not going to go into here, but this will be the definitions of these words. Here's a list of terms that helps frame what we're discussing. Terms that illuminate the dynamics of racialized trauma, extraction, and interpersonal invalidation. If you want to repeat these to an audience, yourself, or on YouTube or on TikTok, if you do lives, because I just got off one today, very informative, then you can, use this. Racialized invalidation, disbelief or is a disbelief or minimization rooted in cultural bias. Energetic extraction, emotional or psychological draining without mutual support. Peer response avoidance, discomfort leading to distracting, or excuse me, peer response avoidance is discomfort leading to distancing instead of engagement. Projection, others assigning their internal discomfort onto your experience. Boundary violation by expectation is pressure to perform a role that is not yours, right? And just about the example of this one is how many times you've been at your job or you've had somebody say, hey, well, I just knew that you wanted, this is what I heard while I was on the streets and I had somebody who was taking advantage of me and she was treating me like a slave. This was a YT and she was 70s, 80s. And take out her dogs, wash her dishes, and in exchange, I could cook my meals. I was trying to keep on a healthy eating because you know how rough living in your vehicle or living on the streets can be, because what are you going to cook with, right? If I could start a fire, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Um, and whatnot. But then I noticed that anytime I would get in a job opportunity or try and work on getting a vehicle to get a job opportunity, it would somehow get sabotage. And I knew that the sabotage was coming from her. And she would tell me, well, I know that you said that you liked the interaction that we were having. You liked that you had somebody human to talk to. It made you feel sane, right? But I don't like being sabotaged so that I stay in this situation with you, right? Which is what people would, so you're pressure to perform a role that isn't yours. My role wasn't to be her maid. It wasn't to be her mammy. It was a business exchange. It was a transaction that where I would exchange this for that. And I held up my end of the bargain and she did not held up hers. Um, so narrative appropriation, taking someone's lived experience and using it for validation without honoring their authorship. Boy, oh boy. I'm going to save that because I'm going to have a live. I'm going to go live on YouTube. Hopefully you guys catch it in time by the time I post this. But I'm going to go live on YouTube and we're going to talk about this use of the N word. Cultural co-optation, taking symbolic elements without acknowledging origin or agency. These are terms I want you to normalize when talking about your experience, not as clinical labels, but as conceptual tools that help audiences understand what's actually happening. Okay? So, to kind of close, when Black women step into authority, truth, vulnerability, and power simultaneously, the reaction they get isn't always neutral. For some, it's unfamiliar. For others, it's uncomfortable. For a few, it's threatening. But here's the truth: you are not draining others, others are reacting to your refusal to be consumed. Your voice is not too much. It's too authentic to be co-opted. Your presence isn't a threat. It's a boundary that can be crossed without accountability. And most importantly, Phoenixes, your experience is not a curriculum for others to extract from without credit, reverence, and transformation. Again, your experience is not a curriculum for others to extract from without credit, reverence, or transformation. You are not to be consumed, you are to be heard. All right. So